Good evening. Tonight we'll be discussing something that might seem simple at first glance, but I promise it can save you so much frustration in your magical practice. We're talking about another page for your Book of Shadows. Specifically, I want to mention a table of contents. Now, I know it's not the most mystical sounding page. It's not a spell, it's not an invocation, it's not a page full of glittering herbs and shimmering moon phases. But it is the page that can keep you from tearing your hair out when you're in the middle of a ritual and suddenly realize you can't find what you need. So this is practical, helpful, and definitely worth the time. I can't tell you how many times in the early days I found myself flipping through my Book of Shadows, unable to find what I was looking for. I'd know I had written down something, a specific spell, a certain herb blend, a ritual layout, and I was sure it was in my Book of Shadows. I could almost see the handwriting in my mind, but no matter how much I flipped, could I find it? No. I'd flip forward and flip back and scan every other page, and with every turn, my focus slipped further away from the magic I was trying to create. If your Book of Shadows is only a few pages long, this probably isn't necessary. But once you get past that 50-page mark or 100 pages, or when you are into the hundreds, many hundreds of pages, you quickly realize just how much time you can waste looking for just one thing. Just one page. The one thing you need today. That's where the table of contents comes in. Think of it like the compass to your map. It tells you exactly where to look, so you can find what you need without breaking your focus. And that, my friends, is pure magic in its own right. So this is the template I've made for you. It's got a clean white background, just like the other printable Book of Shadows pages we've been creating together, with a flowing mystical border full of botanical details and subtle magical symbols. The title, Table of Contents, sits at the top in an elegant enchanted font. And the rest of the page, it's blank. Wide open space for you to fill with your own entries. That's because your Book of Shadows is unique. It's your magic, your path. There's no way I could make a one-size-fits-all table of contents that would work for every witch, every practitioner, every book. What I can give you is the framework, something that feels magical to look at, but also practical enough to actually use. So here's how it works. The next time you add a page to your Book of Shadows, whether it's a new spell, a ritual you tried for the first time, a list of correspondences, or even just notes from your own meditations, take a moment to flip to your table of contents and jot it down. Give it a page number or somewhere to identify where it lives in your book. And the next time you need it, it's right there. No flipping through 100 pages first. You know exactly what page that particular spell or ritual component is listed on. So let's say you're working on a full moon ritual and you remember a spell you wrote months ago for releasing old energy. You know it's in your book somewhere. Without a table of contents, you could be searching maybe for 10 minutes or 20, depending on how large your Book of Shadows is. But with a table of contents, you look under rituals or moon spells in your list, see the page number, boom, you found it. It's right in front of you. No problem. You've got it in seconds. Or maybe you're in the kitchen, preparing an herbal blend for protection, and you suddenly remember you had a recipe you loved. With a table of contents, you're flipping straight to it. No hunting, no frustration, no lost time. So I've included links in the video description where you can download this exact template. You'll find a link to my Facebook page and a link to a YouTube community post, so you can grab it from whichever is easier for you. Print it, paste it into your book, or slide it into a binder. And remember, if my design doesn't quite match your personal style, that's okay. In fact, I encourage you to create your own. Choose a border, some colors, and symbols that resonate with your path. This page is for you, and it should feel like it belongs in your Book of Shadows. Now, I'll be honest. The first time I sat down to find a spell in my own book without a table of contents, I ended up wasting about 20 minutes searching. I didn't realize how large my book had gotten, and by the time I found it, the candle I'd lit at the start had burned halfway down. And I was more than a little bit irritated. I should have been inspired by what I was doing, and instead, I was annoyed. The very next day is when I made my first table of contents. I went, that's what I'm lacking. And I've never looked back. And here's something I didn't expect. Over time, watching the table of contents grow has become one of my favorite things. Every new entry is like a milestone in my own magical journey. I can see how my practice has evolved, what I've been drawn to, and the new techniques I've tried along the way. So whether your Book of Shadows is a tiny, carefully organized masterpiece or a wild and eclectic collection of notes and scraps, give yourself this gift. Leave a page or even 2 or 3 right at the front for your table of contents. Make it a habit to keep it up to date. Your future self will thank you every single time you open that book. And don't overthink it. It doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need calligraphy pens or rulers unless you want to. A simple pen and some page numbers will work just fine. The important thing is that when you need your magic, it's right there at your fingertips. Page 18. Boom. That's how easy it needs to be. It doesn't need to be complicated. So download the template from the links in the description or make your own. Start your table of contents now before your book gets so full that finding things becomes a chore. And don't forget that it evolves over time. It's okay to scratch things out on your table of contents because you tore out a page. It's okay. Thank you for joining us this week. If you already have a table of contents in your Book of Shadows, I'd love to hear how you've set it up. And if you don't, tell me if you're going to create one now. Blessed be.